FX look like it. אולי היא נגנה חלום לך עכשיו זה כתוב בספרים בשירים במפות הכוכבים מה כולם מחפשים את האושר מקווים והגורל ציפור אפל עמוק בפנים אל תבכי אחות קטנה זה לא פשוט את מבינה את מבינה מחר יום חדש אוויר אני נקרא תחזור תן לי גל אולי אני אוהב זה כתוב בספרים בשירים במפות הכוכבים מה כולם מחפשים את האושר מקווים והגורל ציפור אפל עמוק בפנים אל תבכי אחות קטנה זה לא פשוט את מבינה תחזור תן לי גל מתי אני אוהב אולי אני נגנב חלום לך עכשיו זה כתוב בספרים בשירים במפות הכוכבים מה כולם מחפשים את האושר מקווים והגורל ציפור אפל עמוק בפנים אל תבכי אחות קטנה זה לא פשוט את מבינה זה כתוב בספרים בשירים במפות הכוכבים מה כולם מחפשים את האושר מקווים הנורא כמו עמוק בפנים אל תבכי אחות קטנה זה לא פשוט את מבינה אשא עיניי אל ההרים יום יבוא עזרי מעם השם עושה שמיים הארץ אתן למור רגליך. הנה לא ינום ולא ישן, שומר ישראל, השם ישמורך מקורח, ישמור את נפשך, השם ישמור צאתך ובואך, ואתה ביד עולם, ואתה ביד עולם. שלמעלו יסיינה אל הערים, והיון יבוא אצלי, אצלי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים בארץ, אל יתן למור רגליך, ינום שומרך, הנה לא ינום ולא ישן, שומר ישראל, השם ישמורך מקורח, ישמור את נפשך, חומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה, השם ישמורך מקורח, ישמור את נפשך, השם ישמור צאתך ובואך, ואתה ביד עולם, ואתה ביד עולם. איני מקבל עליי את מצוות הבורא, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך. איני מקבל עליי את מצוות הבורא, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך. יום דידי
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. I encourage you to take a look around and see what we call the Pnei Shabbat. That's an actual expression in our liturgy. It's a euphemism. It's supposed to mean the presence of Shabbat, the presence of the Sabbath. But literally is even better. Pnei is our word for faces. So we are the faces of Shabbat on this morning, called together because of this sacred holy time that we share, and called together because of Meira, who right before our eyes is going to become Bat Mitzvah, a daughter of this tradition. We are the faces of Shabbat, and you know what? Even beyond us, there are people streaming, your family and friends and people from near and far who are with us, and we feel their presence, and I know they feel and see ours. We are the Pnei Shabbat, and so Meira, look around and see this group of people, your Webster friends, right? So happy. And I heard one of your friends say, Meira, you're going to slay it, right? Which I think is a good thing. I know it's a good thing. Your amazing family and friends and members of CRC who are here for the inspiration and holiness like we all are. Rabbi Karen, Rabbi Daniel. We just want to make sure we fill this space, this sacred space, with love and with holiness, with meaning. We're going to learn from you. We're going to be led in prayer by you. And so I just invite you to let everything else behind. You'll have your worries. We have a word in Yiddish called suras, right? It's just those troubles, and we all have them, personal ones and larger societal ones. And they're there. We can't ever fully kind of let them go. But the idea of Shabbat is to kind of have this time, this space, these moments of just holiness, trying to really transcend, so that when you do go back out into the world, you've kind of learned who your best self is, so you can be part of making things better wherever you are and wherever you go. So that's a pretty tall order, isn't it, Meira?
Yeah. She can do it.
Yeah, you're not alone, that's for sure. And so that's why we begin the service. It's on page 2 with words from our tradition that say, start your day as much as possible with a sense of gratitude. Modeh, moda, ani, I am thankful. So try to kind of find that place in your heart and soul that reminds you what you're thankful for, what your blessings are. It's a great way to start the day. It kind of lets you have a head start in this holiness. And this prayer is for every day. So, you're invited every day of the week to wake up and try to think about what you're thankful for. But on Shabbat, we also have this gift of time to really reflect, to really deepen, to really remember, and to count our blessings. One of them is to be right here with you, Meira. So whatever it is you're thankful for right now, at this moment, as the day is starting and unfolding, we'll sing this prayer, Modeh ani, moda ani. It just means I am thankful. If you know the words, sing along. And if not, you can clap and you can hum and lie, just so that all of your voices, every single voice, is part of this community that we have created just by showing up. Modeh, moda, ani.
Modeh ani lefanecha. שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך, רבה אמונתך, מודה אני לפניך.
and you've been preparing for a long time for this moment. We want you to feel not only this community and your people embracing you while we are kind of being led by you. We also want you to feel your tradition embracing you. And one of the ways we do that when you lead the service, when you're one of the service leaders like Rabbi Karen and I, is to wear the talit, this garment that has the fringes on each of the four corners that are supposed to remind us of all the mitzvahs, all those sacred deeds that we talk about and that you do and will continue to do into the future. So it's an honor and a pleasure to ask your parents, Matt and Natalie, to present you with the talit that you'll be wearing.
And Meira, we bought this special for you on a trip to Israel. I bought it in 2019. I held on to it for almost 4 years, waiting for this moment. It's been hanging out, and so it's an honor to give it to you today. Yeah.
There you go. Flip that hair. There you
go. Nice.
So stay right here with us because it is a beautiful talit, and I could see why your mom picked it out for you and why your parents hung onto it for this moment. So it's a mitzvah, another mitzvah, just to wear the talis on those moments where it's appropriate. So it has a mitzvah blessing. We've been doing those all along in 7th grade. Your classmates, many of them are here. It has that word b'mitzvotav embedded in the prayer. In this case, it's the mitzvah of wearing the fringes, wearing the garment that really makes you feel and allows you to feel the holiness that's all around you and all around us because of you. So if you'll read the blessing on page 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kudishanu b'mitzvotah mitzivanu lihi atef batzitzi.
Amen.
Give your hands a hug. Continue on page 3. These are prayers of goodness. It's what the word tov and tova means, and I think this community, this congregation knows that these are those moments that are filled with goodness, and we want to share them. That's what it says. It says, the blessing is to make sure that we are as welcoming and inclusive a community as we can be, that whether you're here for the very first time or you're here all the time, in these moments, we are truly family, and we are raising our voices together and lifting each other up. And so with Rabbi Daniel and Leslie and Robert, we're singing these songs of goodness to be the best humans and the best community that we can be.
Yeah.
each of you is a blessing. I just want to say it's so lovely to see Michelle Long. It's been a while, and I know you've been watching from home, and I know it takes a lot. But we're just so glad you're here, Michelle, really. Amen, amen. And Vincent with his own chair, how awesome is that? That's a big step, you know? So much to be grateful for, so many blessings. And so with even more blessings, Meira is going to lead this list of blessings on page 4.
Please chant together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalmo. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has created me in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'chorim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has made me Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokei af ivrim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who provides clothes for the needy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanaten layach koach. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who gives strength to the weak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher hechim mitzadei gaber. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who guides the steps of the human beings.
I'm so glad that it really, I don't know if we planned it or if it was just sort of one of those sort of spontaneous things, but the last blessing that Meira led us in was about guiding our steps. And just so happens that this next group of psalms, of songs, of melodies became over the years somehow or another connected to moments of really moving, clapping, and even dancing. So as we are taught that, you know, our steps are guided by whatever emotions we're feeling, we jump right into these Sukkei de Zimra, these verses from the Psalms that are joyful and that help us be joyful not only in our words that we express, but also in our whole being. So this is time for what we call ecstatic worship, to pray with our whole selves, and Meira's going to help us out in that endeavor. And so, in the words of the ancient Hebrew prophets, we say, hit it!
Tov lehodol Hashem, Tov lehodol Hashem, Uzameh l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodol Hashem, Tov lehodol Hashem, Uzameh l'shimcha elyon. Yairei le'agid b'boker, boker chastecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Agid b'boker, boker chastecha ve'emunacha b'leilot. Yoshvei Vetecha. Ashrei Yoshvei Vetecha. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 ya da, ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da ya da ya da ya, ya da da ya, ya da da ya ya, ya da ya da ya, ya da da ya, ya da da ya ya.
I hope you got your spilkies out, moving around a little bit. But what a great way to kind of move into the next section of our prayer service. We're on page 6 with the Chatzi Kaddish. This is sort of means there's a break. So after this, Meira's going to be leading a whole lot. But we take a moment to move from our warm-up into the rest of our service.
1, 2, 3. Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba ve'amad divrachute v'yamlik malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael ba'gala ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imeiru amen yehesh meira b'mivorach le'olam u'me'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei l'kedusha richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeiru amen.
Keep smiling because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. Please rise as we call each other to prayer with the Baruch. When you have a dream, you've got to grab it and never let go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei choshech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'kol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit ma'arabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chochma asita mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al Shabbat Ma'aseh Yadecha, Va'al Mo'arei Or Sha'asita, Yifa'arucha Sela, Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMorot.
Together.
In some special way, every person completes the universe. If I do not play my part, I injure the pattern of all existence. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth, in numberless blades of grass, and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment.
We can only learn to love by loving.
Amen.
Amen, yeah.
Starting now. Let's learn to love by loving.
As we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence actually liberates others. Please join me in chanting the Shema. Shema,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these words which I command you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Bind them as a sign on your hand. Let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your God who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your God.
Life without liberty is like a body without spirit.
That's it. That's liberation, freedom. This is a moment where we really and truly remember that until all people are free, until nobody is marginalized and nobody is made to be other, nobody is rendered inhuman, right? Because all humanity, we all have that breathing spirit that yearns to be free. And so this is where we commit ourselves, to make sure we are on the right side of people who need liberation, who need freedom, who need to be included into our society. That's a big theme of Meira's teaching that's coming up. We don't leave anybody out. When we march together. So this is Micha Mocha, an ancient freedom song for the Torah on page 13, and then a little update because there are many freedom songs in many languages. The one on page 14 is in Zulu, used in the anti-apartheid movement, so that more and more and more people could live their best lives as free people.
Yisrael, uvtechenu mechayuta v'Yisrael, go'aleinu Adonai tzevot shemo, kadosh Yisrael, baruch ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Hamba
page 15.
When we connect with our ancestors and put their wisdom into action, we are evolving our collective consciousness.
Yeah, Carl Jung. Matt, you're teaching your children well. Right? Delve into that collective unconscious, for all the good stuff. That's what these next prayers are all about, trying to gather all the good stuff so that we can put it out into the world. So we begin together with words from another psalm. The psalm I call the Psalm of Opening, time of openness.
Sifata tifta, ufiai, tehilatecha, Adonai. Sifata tifta, ufiai, tehilatecha. Be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah.
Together.
Praise be the God of our ancestors, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, of Sarah, of Rebekah, of Leah, and of Rachel. Praise be the source of strength and courage, the source of kindness and good deeds. Praise be the source of gentleness and love, of softness and kind words. Praise be the person who transcends strength through gentleness. Praise be the person who perfects gentleness through strength. Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others. Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Praise be the God who infused humanity with divine potential.
As we continue through the Amidah, we come to the Gevarot, which is all about strength, spiritual strength. And You know, Meira, you've been through so much Hebrew school and so much preparation for this day, and I hope that you will find spiritual strength that you have given all of us, that you are showing all of us right now. I hope that you can feel that in yourself as well. So we continue on page 17.
Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Em Kaye Hakol Ata Rahoshia.
Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachah. Somek Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'ahol Gevurot, Umidomelach, Melech Meimid, Umechaye, Umatzniach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata V'hachayot Hakol, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechaye Hakol.
Connecting with others gives us a sense of inclusion, connection, interaction, safety, and community.
יקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאיך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, בלא כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, ומלכנו ומלכנו, ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לטובתו, הללויה. לטובתו נגיד כל אחד, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני
האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. A life built upon Shabbat is contented because in rhythms of rest we discover our time is full of the holiness of God.
So may our time be filled with holiness. And because we've come here, we've given that a chance to really feel it. I was thinking the other day, actually, Mel, about Rabbi Groman of blessed memory, right? One of your rabbis. And Rabbi Groman, I had the great privilege of having a long conversation with him a couple of years before he passed away. And they were over on Skinker, across from the park. I know some of you remember where United Hebrew used to be. And Rabbi Groman told me something I'll never forget. He said, I'd be sitting there in my study and working on something like a sermon or a newsletter article, and inevitably I'd be interrupted, you know? He said, somebody who was in need, or somebody who just needed my help or my guidance. And he said, at first, my first impulse was to be a little annoyed. He said, but then something came over me, he said, and I started to think of them as holy interruptions. Isn't that a great phrase? So that's kind of what Shabbat is. Like, it's this holy interruption. In our lives are so busy. Our lives, an interruption from busyness, from commerce, from kind of, just really being hyper-focused on whatever it is we're focused on. And Shabbat says, let's interrupt this one day a week, and instead focus on relationships and holiness and transcendence and renewal, right? Just, we need both. We need that hyper-focusedness, but we also need the holy interruptions. And so that's Shabbos, this stopping time. We have stopped ordinary time for these moments of Shabbat. And so this comes right from the Torah, this next prayer, where it tells us, have an interruption and make it holy. Is right there.
So we continue on page 21. I just love this prayer. It's called Avodah, which means work or worship. But if you look at the words that Meira will lead us in just a minute, it says, may our prayers be received with love. And I think that's all we can really ask for in this world, is that the goodness that we put out into the world and the things that we feel like are good, may they be seen as acts of love and as acts of connection. So we will first, I believe, hear Leslie sing this, and then Meira will lead us.
Israel.
Together. Be
Gracious, O God, to your people Israel, and receive their prayers with love. May the service of your people Israel be pleasing to you forever. You are near to all who seek your presence. Reveal yourself to us and have compassion upon us. May our eyes see you return to Zion in mercy. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who restores your Shekhinah to Zion.
Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Nobody can bring you peace but yourself.
Sing a prayer to Sim Shalom means literally to place peace, right? So the peace that Meira talked about from none other than Ralph Waldo Emerson, really incredible part of our history, American history. But that peace that we can access in ourselves, then we are supposed to put it into the world. Sim Shalom. All of those qualities that are listed in this prayer. Tova, not just your guy's dog, Tova, but right? But also Tova means goodness, and bracha means blessings. Chen is grace. Chesed is loving kindness, and rachamim is compassion. All those are listed in this prayer, and all of that is available for us to put into the world, which will help make the world a more peaceful, a better, more healed place.
Shalom.
Is right. So we take a little time before we transition to the Torah service with Meira as not only our leader but our teacher, for some silent meditation, reflection, prayer. I encourage you to look through this incredible Siddur that Meira and her family put together with TLC, with Tender Loving Care, including, if you're, I also encourage you to go all the way to the back of the book, page 34, where Meira describes her really amazing mitzvah project. I always tell the kids, find something you're passionate about and then apply it to Tikkun Olam, apply it to tzedakah, right? The thing that you love, and then do what you can to make sure that it's accessible to everyone and that you can help people in that arena. And Meira's done that. You can read about the Long Meadow Ranch. I think many of you know Meira is an equestrian, right? A word I only know because Bruce Springsteen's daughter is an Olympic equestrian. Did I tell you that? Yeah, probably 100 times, yeah. So really, that's exactly what you did, Meira. And you'll read about that and help out, whatever way you can. It's a good cause and a righteous one. So some silent time, some more time for inspiration and enrichment, and we'll have another prayer for peace, and then it'll be time for the Torah service. So Meira wrote in her Siddur at this point, so sit down, get, what is that word?
Agua.
Get agua. Oh, that reminds me, get agua. Where's your Spanish teacher? Where are you? I know he's here. Well, anyway, Senor, he came to say hi, and yeah. But that's why we wrote agua, because we knew, right? What's the Spanish teacher's name? What is it? Yeah. Good guy? Yeah. So Meira's going to sit down and get some agua. We're all going to have the agua, the mind time of refreshing our souls. And again, then we'll return to each other to continue with the service.
Say shalom bimroma, Uya say shalom aleinu, Ve'ako Yisrael, Ve'ako Yoshvei Tevel, Vimru, Amen. Shalom bimroma,
So, typically at a B'nai Mitzvah, Bar Bat Mitzvah, if there's a younger sibling, they come up and open the ark at this point. But Meira did not open the ark at West's awesome Bar Mitzvah because there wasn't an ark. It was at their home. That we all were able to watch Wes do an amazing job at his Bar Mitzvah from our own homes, because it was at a time it wasn't safe to gather together at the synagogue. And actually, Wes, with your mom's guidance, we figured out a way to keep on being together even when we were apart. So God just felt congruent that since, Meira wasn't able to open the ark for your Bar Mitzvah, even though you're the older sibling, we're going to ask you to open the ark for your sister. That makes sense? Yeah. And then I want to ask, because Wes, you're going to stay up here, because you've got like triple duty. So open the doors, and we're going to ask your awesome 4 grandparents. I'm just looking right at them, holding that cute baby too. That too is Torah, for sure. But 4 grandparents, and of course, your mom and your dad, and Wes, you're already up here, so you're good. And then, Mary, you're going to stand right at the end there, ready to receive Torah. Wes, you can go next to your sister. And then mom and dad, Natalie and Matt. Got a hand, there you go. There you go. That's good. Come on up, you guys. She'll be back, I promise.
Come on up, come on up, come on.
Yeah. Yep. You guys are over here. 1, 2, you might want to put your siddur down so your hands are.
You can set it right there.
And then Matt and Natalie. Oh, okay, you got it. All right.
Okay. So this is such a special moment for your family and for you, Meira, because in a moment we're going to pass you this Torah. And this Torah has a really special story. So this Torah came from Holosov, Czechoslovakia. It was part of a community that I'm sure saw many simchas and celebrations and lots of love. But then the Holocaust happened, and they came into Czechoslovakia, and they tried their best to destroy us. And part of that was taking all the religious objects and putting them in a museum so that when there were no Jews left, we could still learn about Jewish people. And we all know that that didn't happen. But these Torahs that had been collected were sent to new communities so that they could see new life and love in those communities. So this is a really special Torah, and we use it for all of our B'nai Mitzvah students to pass down to them because we're passing so much down to them. We're passing down our tradition, we're passing down our history, but we're also passing down a way of life. And Meira, your Hebrew name, I did not realize it was also the name of your dog until a minute ago. But your Hebrew name is Tova, which is goodness. And you have brought so much goodness to all of us already, and I'm sure you've brought so much goodness to your family. And we're also passing that down to you to continue to bring goodness to all of our lives and to your family's life as well. So, here you go.
Nice job, Western Skies. Right into her arms. Oh, Meira, with the Torah, holding fast is actually kind of what we say in the book of Proverbs, holding fast to the Torah. And your family behind you, your father's people and your mother's people, really who've kind of come together to create you, and everything that you are, and they influence you, and you also have your own heart and soul and spirit. We love your family very much. and you too. And so does now the whole congregation. You know, whether they didn't know you before or they did know you, everyone is now kind of really with you, heart, mind, and spirit. So call us together again with the words of the Shema.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. I ask you to put your books down on your chairs so your hands are free for clapping once again. This is also another good time if you feel like following Meira and her family and doing a little more dancing, because this is a time of Torah and Meira and community all coming together. So all of us here, everyone watching on the stream, and somehow we know we're connecting this holy moment to the whole universe in a moment of exaltation. This is the time. So greet the Torah, greet Meira, greet each other. We say Echad, Shtayim, Shalosh, which is Hebrew for 1, 2, 3, go. Meira, everyone is standing. You're going to tell them to please be
Seated.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you get, in the heat of the moment, it's like, but Meira pulled through. So here we are. You were able to see the scroll as it walked by, and now it's laid out on the table to the portion of the week. We are kind of cruising through Leviticus. As soon as it kind of gets towards summer, we're kind of winding down, reading the rest of the Torah, the end of the Torah. Soon it'll be Deuteronomy, Numbers, and then Deuteronomy. And so we are on page 25, where you can see the Hebrew of Meira's passage from the portion that she's going to be chanting for us, both in its Hebrew and in one of the English translations. And I'm going to leave it to Meira to tell us more about what this is all about for her and for us. In the meantime, I'm going to recognize Toby, whose name I already whispered into the microphone to make sure you got to sit with your husband. But Toby is one of our teachers and tutors, and I know the two of you have been working hard across states of the Union, right? Part of the time Toby's with her sister of blessed memory, but you guys kept on keeping on, and I know that another friendship, grows out of this process of studying together. We call it chavruta, and Toby is sitting here watching him fry, but also she's in a way up here, so you can hold up the yad. This is Toby's yad. That's a capital T and a capital Yud. The yad is sort of a tool that we use to help us read the Torah. It looks like a hand, and literally the Hebrew word for hand is yad. So it's sort of an extension of Meira's hand, and it's also an extension of your tutor, your teacher, Toby's hand. And now we want to bring up people back on the bima who are going to make blessings for this moment. And of course, it's your grandparents, once again, going to come up and for the first aliyah. So I'm going to call them up. Ya'amdu, Trish and Jerry and Sue and Mike, your awesome, wonderful grandparents. Come on up. Aliyah Rishonah. All four of you, we hear so much about you guys from your family. We really do. Well, we've met before, but it just feels like you're part of our community because of your family. So the blessing before Meira starts to read, the first aliyah is on page 25 above the Torah passage. Whenever you guys are ready.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamrach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam vo'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torto. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
V'yadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Sav et b'nei Yisrael, v'ikachu alecha shamen zayit zach, kati lamaor laha'alot ner tamid, michut lefarochet ha'edut b'el moed, ya'aroch et hanerot. Me'erev ad boker lifnei Adonai tamid chuka olam l'dorotechem.
Beautiful. And now the blessing after is on the next page, page 26.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emes v'chayei olam notain b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
You guys stay right up here. We're going to have you joined by the inner circle of your family. Meira, your mom and dad and your brother. Your brother, because he had his bar mitzvah, can come up for an aliyah. That's part of the process. So I'm going to call the three of you with your Hebrew names, your sacred names. And Matt's is Matityahu. He got a big kick out of what I told him. There's a Jewish rapper, right, named Matityahu. So there you go. I don't think there's a hockey player named Matityahu, but where are you guys? All right. And then Natalie, your Hebrew name is Rinat, and I remember when you got that name, and I know it's very special. Your great, is it your grandma?
Rita, yeah, so my mom's mom.
That's right. Oh, blessed memory. So you honor her by making that your Hebrew name, and then West is Avishai.
Yep.
So yeah, great Hebrew names. Ya'amdu, Matityahu, V'rinat, Avishai ben Matityahu, V'rinat, Aliyah l'Torah, your family. Sheni.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'elam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Natin HaTorah.
Second Aliyah.
Al Hanorat HaHorah Ya'aruch et Hanerot Lifnei Adonai Tamid Velakachta Solet Ve'afita Ota Shetem Esra Chalot Shnei Esronim Yihayeh Chachala Cha'echat V'samta Otam Shetem Ma'ara'achet Shesh Hamara'achet Al Hashulchan HaTahor Lifnei Adonai.
Wonderful. And the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'kayei olam nata b'kotenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
So I'm going to have West lead his grandparents back to your seats, but ask Matt and Natalie to stick around.
You want to give us a love?
Yeah, that's a good point. Rabbi Karen reminds you. Yeah, that's the best, right? The door va door, right? From generation to generation. So you guys come over here and stand right behind Meira, because this is time, Meira, for you to be called to the Torah with that Hebrew name we've been talking about a lot, that Tova. Oh, what a beautiful name. And we told you when you were very little, I remember there's even pictures on the back here of you here at CRC when you were very little. There would be times, most of the time, that you'd be Meira, which is also a Hebrew name, by the way, but your everyday name. And then there'll be times that we want to call you Tova. And this is certainly, you being called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah, one of those times. And it's a privilege on behalf of all your rabbis, Rabbi Susan, and Rabbi Jim, and Rabbi Daniel, Rabbi Karen, all the rabbis that are part of your life, we're also lucky to call you to the Torah with that Hebrew name, which also includes the name of your parents, right? That's kind of part of the deal with Hebrew names. It carries the names of your parents. And I don't know, Meira, it's so great to know you. You just always make me laugh and smile. You've got such a wisdom and a wit and just a style. I haven't laughed so hard as in our last rehearsal. I won't say why, but you, even though you were working really hard to make sure that you knew this, you also had time to crack me up. And it was deliberate, right? Because you're just funny. And all the things that you do, everything involved, and I know your friends know. They know you, they know who you are, and all of us are really just honored to be here together. So I'm going to call you to the Torah. You're going to finish off the Torah reading. This, historically, traditionally, is what creates bat mitzvah, this aliyah, daughter of this tradition, who we know will bring all of the parts of Jewish tradition that is meaningful to you into your life as you go into teenagehood and adulthood. And we know you're going to carry our community and Jewish tradition as part of who you are, and we can't wait to see where you soar to from this moment on. Ta'amod tova bat matiyahu v'rinat aliyah l'Torah bat ha-mitzvah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu michol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai
Noten HaTorah.
V'natata al hamara'achet levona zakah ve'afita la'alechem la'azakara ishe la'Adonai. B'yom HaShabbat, Ya'archenu lifnei Adonai tamid, me'it b'nei Yisrael b'ri olam. V'haita la'aharon u'levonaz, v'achalu v'makom kadosh ki kodesh kedoshim hulo me'isha Adonai cha'olam.
Perfect. Yeah. Hold on. Do the blessing. And go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai
Noten HaTorah. Nicely done. Look behind you. They were right there at your back. So,
And you got a nice approving nod from Toby.
oh, did you? Toby's approving nod, always a good sign. Look at that. Wow, that's, I feel approved, and it wasn't even aimed to me. You're like, whoa. You know, with the words of Torah kind of filling the space, and thanks to Meira, you know, we felt them. As we were reading them, we were able to hear them because of the hard work you put in. To do this, it's a mitzvah, it's a skill, it's important as we kind of carry forward our tradition and modernize them, but still stay true to who we are. So because of all of that, traditionally, there's a healing blessing that's inserted into this moment in between the Torah and the Haftorah, precisely because of the holiness, the sanctity of hearing the words of Torah. And so we're going to have a moment of thinking about people who could use a healing touch. I'm sure we all have people that we are thinking of and praying for. I encourage you to bring them front to the forefront of your minds and hearts. Maybe some people in this very sanctuary could use the benefit of the healing that is created here, and then maybe also the impetus to reach out to people who you know could use your healing presence. We have people we pray for all the time. We keep up a list of people who ask us to pray for them or for their loved ones. We have Florence Honickman and Rabbi Bert Jacobson, Reina Bat Ruth. We're thinking about your Reina Bat Ruth for Refuah Shlema. For Mary Chris Prost, Robert and Andrew Shepard, and David Schlesinger. We're going to kind of check up on Lisa to see how David's doing. Jordan Kronemer, actually talked to Jordan not too long ago, a young person, and he's recovering and healing. Norma Sherman, Sandy Loyman, Amy Schumacher, for Linda Randall, my mom, for Mary Holtz and Debbie Zarensky. A lot of people tell us they're praying for Debbie. Sherry Kroner and Joan Butcher, Eleanor Levy, our friend Eileen Ehrlich. If you're watching, Eileen, we always got you covered with healing prayers. For all these good people and people that we don't even know, but people who are suffering, who are ill, let them feel the ruach and the koach of shul, of sanctuary. We have a healing prayer on page 26, Misha Berach. The prayer that the one who blessed those who came before us, our ancestors, the people that we know and love, may that presence bring healing to all who need it. Misha Berach, page 26. top of page 27 is the Chatimah, the part of the healing prayer that we hope and pray seals it for all those who could use healing. So we think of them, we feel their presence, we pray for them when we say, Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholam. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, who helps us find ways of bringing healing to those who are sick. And we say, Amen. There we go.
Oops.
Yeah, it's got to go this way. Rabbi Susan says she dreamed this table. Have you ever heard her tell that story? The portable bima stand, and said it came to her in a dream. So, anyone else dream about bima tables?
Maybe we can dream this piece higher.
Yes. So every Torah portion has an accompanying passage from the books of the prophets, and your Torah portion, a more, is accompanied by a passage from the kind of wild and wacky, interesting, hallucinogenic prophet named Ezekiel. If you ever want to just sort of like get transported to another universe, Sonia knows the book of Ezekiel. It's just sort of one of those things that just takes you to another sphere. But we have a passage that Meira's going to chant to us from Ezekiel, starting with the blessings on page 27, the Haftorah itself. And after the closing blessing of the Haftorah, it's time for Meira to become our teacher and let us know lessons from this whole experience that she wants us all to take home with us. So starting with the blessing and Haftorah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'dibreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uvin v'yeh ha'emet v'tzedek v'hakohanim haleviim b'nei sadok asher shamru et mishmeret mikdashi b'tot b'nei Yisrael ma'alai hema yikravu alai l'shartini ve'amdu lefanai l'hakrivi li lev va'adam ne'um Adonai Elohim.
Perfect, you got it.
That was great.
And the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sor kol haolamim Zadik b'chol hazarot ha'el hane'eman Homer ve'oseh Hamdaber kayem Shekol devara emet v'tzedek V'al haTorah V'al ha'avodah V'al ha'na'im V'al yom ha'shabbat haseh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha v'limnucha L'chavod u'tifaret Al kol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim lach Uvarchim otach Yitbarach Shimcha bifi kol chai Tami le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Kadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Yasher
Kol
Koach.
hakavod, all of those. So take a deep breath. Nishima amuka, really deep breath, right? Nice and slow so we can all really hear you on the important message that you're sharing with us now.
You just heard me chant from this week's Torah portion, Emor, meaning sayings. The part of the Torah it comes from is called the Book of Leviticus, and it has a lot of rules. The ancient Israelites had been slaves, so now they had to come up with their own rules to follow by. They were still on the run, and they needed rules so they could be successful and good in life. Some examples of the rules in this portion include describing the holiday traditions, such as Passover, which just ended. Another one of the rules is that if you were a farmer, you had to save some of your food for the poor and strangers. These days, we take that law to remind us all to share some of what we have to people in need. Lastly, many of the rules are about giving offerings and making sacrifices to God. It is important to give up some of your possessions for a larger cause, but something that stuck out to me was the list of people that were not allowed to make offerings to God. To quote my portion, "No person of your offspring throughout the ages who has a defect should be qualified to offer the food to God. Those defects include people who are blind, people who had a growth in their eye, people who had scars, people that are dwarfs, people whose limbs are too short or too long, and people who have a hunchback. These are some things that might be considered as imperfections, and for some reason, the Torah seems to be discriminating against those who are differently abled. My question is, who gets to decide what perfection is? In my opinion, there is no such thing as perfect. Look around, not one of us is the same as anyone else, and we all have our differences. That makes us unique, and it also means nobody is perfect, because there's no such thing as perfection. Everyone can have their unique self and features, but none of us should either be considered perfect or imperfect. Even now, thousands of years away from the times of the Torah, some people are still getting mistreated for being considered different or imperfect, and some other people consider themselves somewhat perfect. But the main thing that happens now is people are getting hurt because they're being told that they're not good enough or they need to be more like someone else. It is also hard for people who go to my school that have disabilities, such as not being able to learn as fast as some other people, or because they can't do everything all by themselves. This means that contributing might be a bit more challenging for them, but they still have as much to offer as everyone else. This is why it sticks out to me by seeing the Torah say that people can't do stuff like others. It might be difficult for some people who are disqualified to make offerings, but they could have done it their way, and that was unreasonably unfair for the rule that didn't let them do it. I think people should be measured by their qualities and not their physical differences. There is so much more to a person than just how they look. Imagine if you see a person that you think is different than everyone else. You would probably make no negative assumptions about them without really getting to know them. What if they end up being your best friend? And could you imagine if you met your eventual best friend but ignored them because you considered their looks to be less than perfect? That comes to show that everyone needs a chance and that you should never judge someone by the way they look on the outside. Some people see others online and in the media say, "Wow, this person's perfect. This person has a perfect nose, perfect body, perfect makeup." As it became obvious to me after reading my portion, there's no such thing as perfection. Really, you can never be the perfect person in the media. Maybe that's the real teaching behind the offerings listed in the Torah. That everyone has different skills, qualities, love, happiness, and personalities to offer to each other. Good.
So take a moment to take a breath. Meira, Tova, I love that you share your name with the dog. This is, like, I knew you all were our kind of family before, but this is really... So did you catch, in your beautiful Torah reading, did you catch that you say your name in there? Not your Hebrew name, your English name that's also Hebrew. And what I was struck by is what you taught us. It was not the laws of exceptional moments. It wasn't about some special candelabra, some special Chanukiah that we light only at sacred moments. Your Parsha that mentions your name, lighter, right? The one who brings light forth. Your Parsha talks about the light that we have to give off every day. And your words, your incredible drash, talks about the light that we have to give off every day. I was struck that you weren't talking about special moments. You were talking about every day, seeing the dignity of every human being. Every day, seeing the goodness of every human being. So I look at you and I see both of your parents in you. I see them in your face and I see them in your heart. I look at this amazing family that you come from, this family of laughter and this family of optimism, this family of hope, this family of light giving. And my blessing for you is that you can always hold on to both of your names. Meira, the light giver, the light bringer, but we know all too well in this world that light can be used for good and light can be used as fire to burn too.
And so you hold the goodness too, the tova. Hold both of these together, and that is my hope, that is my blessing for you, that wherever you go in life, that you find yourself surrounded by light, that you find yourself surrounded by goodness, and that for everyone around you, you continue being what I know you already are and what your whole family already is, people who bring light to the world. We love you.
So, Meira, the blessings continue. You did a lot for us already this morning, but we want to make sure that you feel the blessings and the warmth of our community. And I know there's a lot of people here who are leaders in our community and just people who just wanted to show up for you. But Amy Gage is here, and Amy is a past president of our board of directors, and I'm pretty sure it was a walk with Amy, Natalie, right? It's always a walk with Amy.
We know about these walks with Amy.
And we're so glad that walk worked, and we had a great transition, Amy to Natalie. But Meira, Amy is here.
And those walks were always with dogs, just so you know.
There you go. It's a leitmotif. So Amy's here to bring you blessings and gifts from your congregation's Central Reform.
Right. And Meira, really everybody here and the wider community are just really so honored to get to be here today and just embracing you always. And you've been part of our community since, I don't know, since you were in Rainbow. And I've known you since you were probably 4 or 5 years old. And what we were doing mitzvahs together, you and your family were making meals for shelters and singing for seniors and working in the garden with the menschmakers from the time, I think that's just part of how you breathe. It's just doing things for others. And so it's just really my honor to get to be here to give the gifts from our community and the love from our community. And I also just wanted to thank you for sharing your mom with all of us because I know she spends a lot of time with this community, but it's just, we're so grateful for all of that she does and also just that your family brings to all of us. So on behalf of our congregation and our board, we want to present to you this certificate that says you have become a bat mitzvah and that 2 trees have been planted in your honor in Israel. 1 tree will be planted in a majority Jewish neighborhood and the other in a largely Arab neighborhood. It is our hope that the 2 trees will grow together in a land filled with justice and peace, and that you will one day visit and see the fruits of all that has been planted. And we also have a tzedakah box for you, so that you may continue the tradition of giving as you have all your life and as we know that you will continue to do. And so mazel tov on behalf of all of us.
One more blessing for you for this moment, for these holy. I like that pose. That's a good one. It's called like the champion pose, right? Like that. But we're all champions today, right? Thanks to you. Blessing, you know it. We've been singing this, as you've grown up at CRC. It's for sacred moments, holy moments, including this one that I hope you always remember, and I hope that always informs you. Next time you have something really hard, difficult, challenging to do, you'll look back at your bat mitzvah and say, I did it, and I can do it again in all different ways and forms in your life. And so for this moment that you became bat mitzvah, some of the people here, your family, known you from the very, very beginning. And I know it's just astounding to see you do what you've just done, So I think for all of us, this has been holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, who gave us our lives and who kept us alive and who brought us, all of us, but especially you, to these moments of you becoming bat mitzvah. Very sacred, very awesome, very holy. And let us say, Amen. Now we want to return the Torah to the ark as we sort of start to wind down the service. So we're going to bring back some people you've already met. Western Skies. I've been calling him that since he was like in my 3rd grade class, right? Western Skies. And it's from a song that has got stuck in my head. So West, it's a formal occasion, so I'll use West. He's going to open the ark, and Aunt Trish and Uncle Art and Cousin Caitlin, who helped us get the Torah ready while you guys were dancing, are going to come on back. Are they Caitlin and Trish and Art, you guys around, or any combination of you? Yeah, here they come. Everyone else, Meira, you can ask that they should, because we're putting the Torah away, they should please, look at them.
Rise.
Yes, rise. We are on page 29, the words, again from the Bible, the book of Proverbs, this wise proverb that tells us that Torah is a Eitz Chaim, a tree of life, but we already knew that because Meira took an ancient set of words and made them come alive for right now, for you guys in school, right, to remember about there's no such thing as perfection. You know, we're all human beings, every single one of us, through our differences, which really, the differences make things better, not worse. That Torah is a tree of life because we continue to make it so. Would you like to sit this time? That was classic. We are on page 30. Meira and Rabbi Karen and I are going to face east with the rest of you, the Torah, and also the direction of, for us, the sunrise, which symbolizes hope. Hope for a world redeemed and repaired, and a world that is fixed in the places where it is broken. Together. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tekin ola'liotzer b'reshit, shelo hasanu goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahen, v'gol aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo.
Please be seated.
Before we have Kaddish for our loved ones who have passed away, and some closing blessings. Just a few announcements. That's what's happening here at CRC. Tonight, if you want to come on back, Rabbi Daniel is having his, I think, monthly awesome music jam that includes Havdalah. Bring your instrument, bring your voice. Just prepare to just make music, right?
You don't have to be a musician.
Yeah.
Just come and make joyful noise with us.
Yeah, that's it. 5 o'clock this evening. So that's tonight. And then on Monday, we've been counting the days of the Omer in the Jewish world, the days between the holiday of Passover, which Meira mentioned. It's true in Meira's Torah portion, there's almost like a calendar of Jewish holidays to that point, because some of them were added after the Torah was written down. But two of them that are in the Torah and are in Meira's portion are Passover, and then 50 days later, Shavuot. And the tradition is to count every day, counting the Omer from Passover to Shavuot, count them out loud. This is the 30th day, which means we have 3 more days till the 33rd day, which is a holiday, Lag BaOmer. If you want to find out more about Lag BaOmer, come to our campfire. That's one of the traditions. I'm looking at my friend Jamie. We love campfires. I'm sure other people do too. But that's one of the ways you observe Lag BaOmer is having a campfire and sing songs and tell stories, make blessings. It's going to be Monday night in our green space right by where you parked at 8 o'clock, weather permitting. If it's raining, we're not going to have the event at all. It'll still be Lag BaOmer, but if it's not raining, we'll have a campfire.
Do the campfire right here.
What do you think, Sonia? No, Sonia's like, no. And then finally, I do want to make sure that I announce that this Friday, next Shabbat, but this Friday, we have a very special service that we have every year, and many of you have been here for confirmation. But once again, it's time for confirmation. Our sophomores in high school who are completing their last formal year of Jewish education. They have a great year together. I just got back from New York with them. They're such an amazing crew. And we have a service at 7 p.m. It's part of our Shabbat service, but each one of those teenagers comes up and speaks their truth. And believe me, they're truthful. I have to say also, Toby, you are lovingly name-checked in I've been reading the essays because they've been coming in. And I'll let it be a surprise which young person really wanted to give you a shout out, because they talk about their Jewish journeys. And every Jewish journey is different, and especially with teenagers. But in one of them, you'll see, you are name-checked in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So that's 7 o'clock on Friday, May 12th. I think that's all. Oh, and the farm. Wait, hold on one second. I know what you're going to say. Hold on, Nancy. Karen, got a
5 to 7 now every Sunday through the end of May, and then 6 to 8 in June. The 5 to 7 Sundays, anybody's welcome. And we're planting and harvesting this week.
planting and harvesting, 5 p.m. on Sunday with Karen and Vicky and a great crew of tikkun gardeners, because all the food goes to feed people who are food insecure. Let's go, Nancy.
So for anybody that is a new member or a prospective member, 2 weeks from today, May 20th at 9 o'clock, I'm going to bake, so you might want to come.
Ooh, that's enticing.
Just to hear more about what we're all about, what expectations are, and what our philosophy is. I hope that you all can join us for that. If you're new, prospective, or you just want to come see what I did. Then abbreviated service right after that, and then we have an open house at noon. Is it 11:30?
Right after services, I'll take it from here because I want to make sure that people on the stream hear it. I think when Nancy did abbreviated services, everyone rolled their eyes. Like I felt it. But we're going to try really hard. But like Nancy said, right after services, we're going to have an open house. It's been a while. Lots of people who do lots of great things at CRC are going to be explaining them to maybe some of us who haven't heard about all the programs and all the ways to get involved. I know Sonia and Rin have been working really hard, and the whole staff. So come on for an abbreviated service, and then stay and just kind of learn about some of the new programs and long-time programs that are happening at CRC. It'll be also a great time just to be together. to extend Shabbat. So that's 2 weeks from today. Prospective member, and then open house after service. Rabbi Karen.
Last one, on May 19th, we're doing Shabbat in the Park. It's geared towards households with children ages 10 and younger. We rented the pavilion at Stacy Park, so we're gonna have a musical service, a short musical service, and then we're hoping you'll bring a picnic dinner and hang out with us. There's a great playground. It's a beautiful park, so we'd love to see you there.
Perfect. So now we transition. The service is filled with transitions from one type of moment to another, but this is these are solemn moments, as many of you know, where we reserve time at the end of a service for remembrance, for kind of allowing ourselves to hear names of people who have passed from this world to the next, people whose shoulders we stand upon. We've got a whole board. These are members of our congregation who've passed away since the beginning when we were founded in 1984. And we put it right here. It was Rabbi Daniel, Rabbi Karen, who said, let's move it right here so we feel their presence. And now we want to feel the presence of the people that you've come to remember. So if you're here to say Kaddish, whether you're in your year of mourning or whether this is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, we ask you to stand and we can hear who you're remembering and let their memories be a blessing to all of us in addition to you. So I'm going to start. This time I'll start with Margie. And that all of their memories should be a blessing. I love the way that the three of you found each other and sit with each other and support each other. And thank you for saying their names. We miss them along with you. And may their memories be a blessing. Thank you. And right here. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. I saw her name on the list, Vicki. May her memory be a blessing. Marlene, do you have a name? Oh, yeah. Yeah, gosh, I remember her so well. I visited her in her last days, and glad the two of you are together, and Mariah's part of the team now. Yeah. Toby.
My cousin, grandchild, and my sister, Stephanie.
Thank you, Toby. And Lori.
My brother David.
Your brother, and I just know that he will be somehow present for you guys, for Natalie, your Natalie's bat mitzvah, which is just in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and we know your brother because of you guys. We really do. Yes. Oh, Stephanie.
My nephew, Ben.
So sorry for your loss. Thank you. Yes. We talked on the phone. Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss. Yes. We're thinking about you guys. May her memory be a blessing. Yes, and in back, yep. Michelle, it's Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle, let's hear them. Thank you, Michelle. Good to see you. Yes. May his memory be a blessing. And Sarah? We're thinking about her with you. Yes?
For Sid Wolf, for Lou Osheroff, and for my brother-in-law, Shane Hieronymus, my sister Lisa's husband, who died suddenly last week.
Sorry, Leslie. Michael, is there a way for you to get us names? I'll have everyone stand if you want to bring me names from the stream. Okay, so let's have everyone stand together with our mourners, shoulder to shoulder to support them, but also because we want to hear names of people we're remembering as a community, including on their yahrzeits, Bessie Stearns and Bill Hudson, David Linder, Fred Kozlov, Harold Hudspeth, William Schaas, Maurice Cronemer, and Samuel Halperin, Edith Lewin and Jerry Lester, Ken's mom, Goody Becker, Harvey Weiss, Michael Bornstein, Ann Spiegelglass, and there's Serene's name, your grandmother and your sister, Serene Feldman. Jim Fishman, Wendy Jaffe's father. Lou Leneve, Kathy Davenport's aunt, and Kathy always stands and says her aunt's name. And then here I have, I think on Monday, Vicki, your mom, Marlene, yeah, of blessed memory. And Shirley Sewell, Walter Gustorf, and Gil Nussbaum, who died during COVID, and we miss him a lot on Friday nights. And then our recent deaths include Marjorie Shepard and Lee Smith, who's known as Sue, Carl's wife. Dr. Moisey Shopper, and your dad and I, Meira, were talking about Moisey. I know he was a mentor of yours, Matt. And we were talking about him the day he passed away. We didn't find out till later, but he was a beloved member of this congregation and a wonderful source of helping people who needed it. Toby's sister, Stephanie, Carrie James and Lila Rosenblum, Steve's mom, George Spooner and Marcia Wolfsey, Harriet Zimmerman and Leah Larson, Francis Rothschild and Ben Neiman, Jay Summer, Lois Loomstein and Kathy Lass, Maurice Goller and Gloria Sirkin, Bert Newman and David Adelstein, Cheryl's father and Harriet's husband, Lois Chait and Nikki Nymark, Stuart Milner and Bruce Schneider, Patty Twellman and Daniel Williams, Flannery's dad and Stephanie's husband, Bear Robinson and Paul Schumer and Sid Wolf, and Larry Mange and David Kaskowitz and Sylvia Giddensparg. We think of all of them with love in our hearts and honor as we together say our mourner's prayer. But first we want to hear about members of your family, Meira, on page 31. Yep.
From my mom's side of my family, my great-grandparents, Rita and Jack Hammond, great-grandparents, Elaine and Howard Spencer, and my cousin who I never met, Camden Spencer. And on my dad's side of my family, my great-grandparents, Evelyn and Irvin Shatzman, grandparents, Patricia and Raymond Holtzman. Some of my pets, Marley and Allie, and special horses, Quincy, Petey, Stanley, Xander, and Mingo. Today we remember those that have come before us, our family members and close friends, those who forged paths and influenced who we've become today. We're grateful for our memories and physical reminders as they remain part of our lives and look upon us, our families, as angels.
Perfectly said, Meira, for all the angels. On pages 31 and 32, we remember them with our Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chaye echon v'yom echon. U'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba nevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu
seated just for one more moment, because Meira, your parents are going to give you their words of blessing and of joy. So again, an honor to welcome up Matt and Natalie, who are going to come up and give you words because you've done an amazing job up here. Turn around, face the music, as they say.
You said he was going to go first. We had this discussion.
I'll go first. It was, okay. Dearest Meira, wow. It feels like yesterday that you and I would visit the zoo after dropping your brother off here for his Hebrew school on Wednesday afternoons. During the winter, we pretty much had that place to ourselves. We'd hold hands, skipping around between exhibits, and I'd carry you piggyback when you got tired. Dusk seemed to last forever. I think secretly I hope those moments would too. But as we each learn in our own ways, time hardly stands still. Here you are, nearly 13, a beautiful and witty young woman, a bat mitzvah. I believe bat mitzvah translates to daughter of commandment. Getting to this day was something of a commandment both your mother and I requested of you. And as our daughter, we are most grateful and exceptionally proud. To become a daughter of commandment, you coincidentally had to learn a level of command of the Hebrew language, of prayers, and of Torah, while your learning was focused on the divine, cultural, and religious aspects of Judaism. So much more occurred during your preparation. You expanded your capacity to persevere, to wrestle with ideas and feelings, and to start seeing bigger pictures alongside smaller ones. In essence, you've developed more command of your own voice, your own mind, and your own personhood while respecting the communities you're a part of. Meira, my blessing for you is simple. Love. Love as fiercely as you can while you can. Listen to your own teaching from today and trust yourself to appropriately challenge and change rules that don't make sense to you. To risk the safety of certainty to find your own way, the passions that may fill your soul up. Ironically, you taught me that, how to love deeply, while we skip through twilights at the zoo, hand in hand.
All right, Meira. Okay. For years, I've enjoyed how everyone called you my mini-me, someone who not only looks like me, but embodies many of the same qualities and passions, from our love for animals, chocolate, strawberries, and my companion in solving the daily Wordle. Thank you, Amy Gage. And the way we're fiercely loyal to our friends and how we both enjoy hugging and snuggling. And while being with you is often like being with a familiar version of myself, I've come to see and appreciate you as the young woman independent soul that you are. A few months ago, my friend taught me the phrase, sawubona, which is a Zulu phrase for saying hello, but it carries a deeper, more genuine meaning of, I see you. And when we see each other for who they are, their existence matters, much like your Devar Torah taught us today. I've enjoyed seeing you take off and become much more than a mini-me. My wish for you is to take in the world and the relationships around you and greet them with eyes wide open. Greet them with sawubona. And also look inwards to see yourself and all that you're capable of, because you're amazing. I love you. Okay.
Meira, one more time. This congregation is ready for the lunch you guys are so generously providing for all of us. So we got to do a few more blessings, so let everyone know they should please.
Right.
Yes. Les, come join us. Come on. It's your whole family. You guys can come on over. We have blessings. I want to say that if you encounter lots of like young people, it's our last day of a religious school before summer vacation. So some of the families might be hanging out, and I think there was even an ice cream or a snow cone truck just for the religious school kids. So
I think it's gone.
oh, it's gone. So oh well. But what I want to say is, like, you know, you're tempted to say it's the last day of school, so they're going to be all happy, and I'm sure they are happy. But you know, our kids also. Rabbi Karen and I were here on Wednesday for the last day of Wednesday school, and the kids were crying. It was like the last day of camp. I have pictures to prove it. They were crying. Right, they were crying because it was a powerful experience for them. Really, I always love the last day of camp because everyone cries, but I never thought it would happen at religious school, but it did. It did. So, Rabbi Karen, the blessings.
Okay, Meira, we'll let you hold this.
It's true.
This day has been amazing, and you have led us in a beautiful service, but we're going to add a little bit more sweetness to this moment with a blessing over some wine. So, if you'll join with me, Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
You can take a sip.
Man.
We have this beautiful
L'chaim.
challah. Here, you gonna hold it? It's really heavy. And because we always have enough to share, we say a blessing over the challah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Have a bite, Meira. There you go. Pull off a little piece for yourself. You might want to give a piece to your brother.
There you go, Wes.
Yeah. There he is. So now let's put our arms around each other, around Meira Tova, our newest bat mitzvah. Got Natalie coming up and really coming to the end of the year of this really wonderful class. So all your 7th grade classmates, Meira, I'm going to miss you guys over the summer. It's been, I think for all of us, just a privilege to be part of your B'nai Mitzvot. But we give this blessing. This is how we end the service in this sanctuary. Words from the Torah, the same Torah that Meira chanted from. This blessing that are words of peace and love for us and for the whole world. Let us say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you now and always. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
And may light, like you have shined for us, like your name means, like is the first word in this line of the blessing, may light always accompany you wherever life takes you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And may you, wherever you go, bring goodness and love as you have shown us here today, and may you all always be blessed with the gift of peace. Can we say
Amen. And Shabbat Shalom. And Mazel Tov.
Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Yelanu. Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Yelanu. Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Semen Tov, Mazel